Episode 59, our iTunes reviews.
Interested in Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is a very vague concept to a lot of people.
Need to know more about cryptocurrency?
We're going to talk about the basics. This is something that people just have no idea about what crypto is.
How about buying, selling, and mining?
Tony, I think that's one of the things that's going to make us a little different from some other shows.
We're getting our hands dirty.
Then listen to Gary Leland and Tony Sakala, better known as the Crypto Cousins, on the Crypto Cousins podcast. This week's price.
This week's price in Bitcoin, $6,419. That's up $15.09 or 0.2% over the last 7 days. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Gary Leland here.
And this is Tony Sakala.
And Tony, I'm kind of a little bit better mood starting this show. Bitcoin's up, even if it's only $15 or 0.2%. Doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. Okay, well then I won't tell you that I'm looking at a price on a different exchange.
Well, don't look at. Well, I use the same exchange every week. So as long as I'm using the same exact exchange every week, then this number is good. And at the moment, I typed that a couple of minutes ago, and now it's down.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sticking with that original number for today, though.
You can make a little money. There's a little leveraging on. You can go Bittrex to Coinbase and try to make $14.
What's that called? Arbitrage?
Arbitrage.
Yeah, but I think that's hard for average Joe like you and I to make any money doing arbitrage.
Right. Yeah, because we're gonna, try to do it with,
I think you got to have a lot of money because you got to have the money sitting in both accounts. You can't wait a week for it to transfer and.
Exactly. You have to make it count. I mean, if you moved one Bitcoin around, you'd make $14. the fees and
the fees, yeah, you wouldn't. You'd make negative $3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So everybody, welcome to the show. Also, before we get started, Tony, I'm working this real hard. I know you've seen all the posts on Facebook, but we have our Cryptiversary coming up, our 1 year anniversary, our Cryptiversary, and I'm kind of excited about this on September the 28th.
September 28th in the Big D.
In the Big D.
Come on out. Fly out to the Big D. Come party with us. Adults only, right?
I don't know if it's adults only.
It's at a bar, right?
Yeah, it's at a
drinking and cussing. We don't do that on.
No, it'll be a pretty relaxed atmosphere. So it's in a bar that's an indoor-outdoor bar on the Katy Trail in Dallas. It's going to be a great time. If you've never been to Dallas, it's a good time to come to Dallas. If you have been to Dallas, well then, if you are in Dallas and come to it, just go to cryptocousins.com/party. It takes you to our Facebook group. I just did it on Facebook, a Facebook event. I guess we could do all kinds of other stuff. Maybe we should. I don't know. That's all I've done is a Facebook event. I figure most people are on Facebook.
Facebook is really a good start. We can maybe do an Eventbrite.
Yeah,
since it's free admission.
Yeah, since it didn't cost anything.
Yeah. We spent a lot. We sent a lot of money to Eventbrite in the last few weeks.
Yeah, with BitBlock Boom. But yeah, check out. Even if you're not coming, check out cryptocousins.com/party because that may make you want to come. We're gonna have a good time.
We are gonna have a good time off the Katy Trail.
The Katy Trail, indoor, outdoor, and as Tony made sure we knew last week, they have cornhole there.
Yeah, I didn't think about that word the whole week.
So, guys, Tony, before we get into this show, is really kind of a different show for us because I'm trying to find something different doing this about our iTunes reviews. But before we get into our iTunes reviews. Tony, out of this year, we've done this our 59th episode. What would you say has been your favorite episode out of all 58 that we've done so far? I'm just curious.
Oh, I think by far has to be the John McAfee interview.
John McAfee, yeah. I'm driving down the street, and he's like, I'm ready to do the interview now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more about the behind the scenes, because we had been trying to set this up for weeks. And then you phoned him up on a Saturday. I was driving on the tollway. You were driving somewhere, and he's ready to do it now. And so, obviously some speed laws were broken driving home. really fast.
I'm calling Tony as I'm driving towards to my office. We have 5 minutes, and I thought we would be late. But I said, Tony's like, "Do you think we should call him?" I said, "I'm calling him. Let's see what happens. All he can do is not answer, hang up." And he answered. So that was kind of an interesting setup there. Mine was with Charlie Shrem.
You really did enjoy the Shrem story.
I did. I enjoyed the mackerel story.
Yes.
If you haven't heard the mackerel story, you need to go look in the back catalog and listen to it. But in prison, mackerel was their form of money because they didn't have any money, so they traded packets of mackerel. So that was, to me, that was an interesting story. How anything in the right circumstances becomes value money type thing. So if packets of mackerel can be used as money, I have no doubt Bitcoin can be used as money. I mean,
yes.
I think that's the thing out of it is packets of mackerel, actually expired packets of mackerel still had a value, and you couldn't eat them, but they still had a value.
That was surprising to me. I mean, you couldn't eat them; they were just recognized as money.
Yeah.
Bad mackerel that could kill you if you ate it.
Yeah, and then how the Fed, the federal government, which it was the federal government that ran the prison, the federal government, I guess it was a federal prison. I assume so.
Yeah.
So the Fed devalued the money, by supplying more of it. It was almost just like our economy. I mean, really, they gave away 1,000 packets of mackerel, and the whole mackerel market fell apart.
Even in prison, you're going to be subject to the horrors of inflation. Well, today could be our quickest show ever, but that's kind of hard to say with us because we just ramble and yammer on. We
ramble and talk about stuff and don't know what we're talking about most of the time. But today we're talking about our iTunes reviews, and these are the comments.
Could we talk a tiny bit about one bit of news?
Yeah.
What crypto news that hit yesterday, and I didn't see there was a leak last week, but the crypto news that hit yesterday was NVIDIA announced the RTX 280 and 280 Ti. Those are mining cards. They're graphics cards, but you and I know them as mining cards.
Now, I thought I read that NVIDIA was going to cancel their cards just earlier in the week. Their mining cards.
Well, they have released this new card, and it's just a graphics card. They don't talk at all about mining. They don't talk at all about it. And they talk a lot about ray tracing, which no one knows what the hell that is. And people are pretty disappointed because it's a really expensive card, and no one's really talking about how powerful it is for regular games that don't have ray tracing.
What is ray tracing?
It's a way of you basically calculate the particle of light that hits the camera or the video camera that supposedly is recording the video game, and it determines what that ray of light is going to look like based on how it bounces off different objects. And so an object might be on fire, an object might be in the sun, it might be in the shade. Is the object shiny or is it rough? And so that pixel gets calculated very, very quickly.
So does that have anything to do with mining?
It has nothing to do with mining, and that's the challenge. Is that they have a few more cores, and they're using GDDR6 memory instead of GDDR5 or GDDR5X. So the GDDR6 memory is supposed to be faster, but they didn't give numbers, hard numbers, and so we haven't been able to really benchmark it. We watched a couple videos last night, and Bitsby Trippin talked about it, and we just are still really up in the air. So don't sell your old cards yet.
So did they say how much it costs?
Yeah, they're launching the Founders Edition at $12.99.
What?
Founders Edition 280 Ti.
What does a Founders Edition mean?
Well, like NVIDIA is the founder of, they are the ones that do the card. They built the card for the other vendors to learn how to do it. So we've got NVIDIA giving Founders Editions. We've got Gigabyte we've got Asus, we've got EVGA, we've got Zotac. All of those folks are doing their own editions, and they kept the wraps covered pretty well because the other companies have their own designs, and they're already about to hit the market, I guess.
So is that card, you think that card is like 2.5 times better than a 1080? Because it's like 2.5 times the price.
Yeah, no, there's no way for mining that card is going to be much more valuable. They were trying to compare it to the Titan the other night. Carter from Bitsby Trippin was comparing the CUDA cores and the memory speed, and it really compares more to like a Titan XP, which he has, a $3,000 card. And they're guessing that the card will do maybe 70 Ethereum mega hash, maybe 70, maybe 84 at the top end. So you're getting 1.5 times the performance, because you can get a 1080 Ti right now to do about 50 with the Ethereum enlargement pill.
So 1.5 times performance at 2.5 times the price.
Exactly. So don't go rushing out to buy it yet.
So don't be throwing away or selling off your 1080s either.
Exactly. I think there's actually going to be a good market for 1080s.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting news. Thanks for the update on that. I wasn't expecting that. It's good to know. So there you go, guys. There's your daily mining news update. We haven't been giving many mining news updates lately.
Because it's depressing. The miners, guys have factories, and they're like these huge warehouses, and they're like they're paying $20,000 a month in electricity. That's $240,000 a year in electricity, and the tokens they're mining have gone down so dramatically. I mean, Bitcoin has gone down.
That guy who we both like. There's that one guy who does has a show. He doesn't do it. He took a break from it where he was mining Zcash. And he was mining. He had all the mining farms. You know what show I'm talking about on YouTube?
Oh yeah. That's
he's like a nuclear scientist or something.
Yeah. He was in the service, armed services, doing work on the nuclear submarine, and his name is Rolf.
I bet you maybe that's why he's not doing his show. I mean, I bet you. Whether it is or not, I don't know. But I bet you he's hurting. I mean, his show Zcash went from 500 to 100 and whatever, and his costs are still fixed.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Rolf is one of the co-founders of Zencash, so I'm sure he's also doing a lot of Zencash mining, and I don't know where Zencash is right now, but Zcash is down. Litecoin is in the double digits. That's what he said, Litecoin.
Yeah. You think that people, now we're kind of talking off subject, but what's new? That's some of the complaints. But, if you listen to the show, you should know that. But anyway, do you think some people have quit mining until it gets more profitable?
Oh, definitely. There are folks that are like, they can't pay their electric bill, so they won't be mining. I mean, before they were paying their electric bill by taking out some of the coins that they were mining and paying, and then banking some coins. Folks that are just banking coins that have enough money on the side to pay their electric bills, really, they have all drank the Kool-Aid. We always talk about that. The belief is that you're mining coins today that maybe a year, 2, 3, 5 years from now are going to be worth 10x, maybe 20x, maybe 100x. So at the time, you might have been mining at a loss, but 10 years later, 5 years later, your coins are worth 10 times that. So
or it could be the opposite, which is where we're at right now.
It could be zero, exactly. Or your coins could go away. So if you have a lot of altcoins that have gone down dramatically from their all-time highs, it's a very sad story.
And speaking of that, I remember when we interviewed John McAfee, he said and Bitcoin was 16,000 maybe when we interviewed him. He said they sold all their coins. They were his company or business he was affiliated with was one of the biggest Bitcoin mining farms outside of China. And they sold their Bitcoin as soon as they mined it. And I asked him, if you think Bitcoin is going to be worth so much, how come you're selling it? And he said, well, we're not an investment company. We're a mining company. And now, in hindsight, he sure was right, or they were right to sell, weren't they?
He's a smart dude. Exactly.
Yeah, they sold it as they got it. That was a smart move. So there's your mining update for today. And we'll probably get more into mining as mining becomes a little more fun. But we're still mining.
Yes.
We just aren't making what we were, but we're still mining in the belief that it's going to go up.
We love mining. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get on to the subject of today's show, our iTunes reviews. I don't know why. I just thought I would do a show on this. I thought it was kind of interesting. I was looking at them. We made a tool for podcasting stuff where I can go in and look at all the reviews from all over the world in every iTunes store. It pulls every iTunes review.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it's all on one page. So it pulls them from us. Because every iTunes store is a different deal. You know, where you might look at the U.S. iTunes and you might see 8 reviews, but you'd have to go to the Australia iTunes store to see the ones there, and then go to the UK one to see the ones there, and go to the India one or the China. 34 that are 5-star, 1 that's 3-star, and 2 that are 2-star.
Well, that's really, they didn't like us, but they had the time and energy to give us the 2-star review to warn people, I guess, to stay away.
To stay away. But also, we're going to go through these, and I did good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, and I started off with good, so we didn't get our feelings hurt too badly. But while I'm saying this, if you're listening on your phone to us on iTunes, go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of the page and give us a review. And we normally ask for 5-star reviews, but I don't care what you give us. We'll take them all, and we'll read them all. We probably won't read them for a long time again, but we'll read them someday again. But let's start with number 1, who is, from where you chose, Australia, the Aussies. From Reshow, he gave us a 5-star review, and he says, this is a really approachable podcast for those new to crypto and wanting to find out more. Great conversation style, and all jargon is explained. Love your work, guys. Well, what do you think?
Thank you, Reshow.
Hey,
all right.
I like that one. We started out with a good one.
He's cool.
Now, that one is the kind we like, and most of them are like that. So, kind of like we're just like kissing our own asses saying that one.
This is the relentless self-promotion show.
Yeah, well, now we're going to get into that. That was a self-promotion there. Let's go to Edward G. from the USA. He gave us
these bad ones.
Okay, he gave us 3 stars.
Okay. I like these guys, and they're clearly knowable. But I have 2 observations that prevent me from giving them a 5-star rating. Way too much self-promotion. Some, of course, is fine, but they go overboard on every podcast. 2, a good 5 to 10 minutes of rambling before they get to the main topic of the podcast. I have to set the speed to 2x. It would be great if they could address these 2 items, and I would be able to listen and support more of their episodes. Edward G., thank you for the feedback.
Thank you for your 3-star review. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, I like the feedback. I think he's absolutely right. I listen to us at 2x.
Yeah, you do listen to us at 2x. So you don't know what he's complaining about on that. But we do a lot of self-promotion, but I don't feel like we're really promoting as much as we're like telling people how to listen to us and stuff. I don't know. I guess maybe we are self-promotion.
Well, I think there's an element of self-preservation. People who don't promote, I mean, there are podcasts that go by the wayside every single day. And so we're still around.
There are a lot of podcasts that haven't done an episode in a long time.
So we're still around because we're making it a point to promote.
I have to go with that too. And the 5 to 10 minutes of rambling, yeah, well, I think you might as well just get over that. And we're going to talk. We enjoy talking.
I think our rambling is actually quite interesting compared to some other rambling. Some other places, they just talk about, I don't know, weird stuff like what they ate for breakfast, or I don't know how bad their relationships are. I don't know, weird stuff.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with crypto.
Exactly. At least we're rambling about crypto.
I guess that's according to who you compare us to. Now, if you compare us to Laura Shim's podcast, Confirmed, I mean, as soon as her podcast starts, she gives a advertisement, which is not self-promotion, but is promoting someone else, which I don't know if that's better or worse. Mm-hmm. And then she gets right into the interview.
Right.
So if you compare us to that style of show, mm-hmm. Yeah, we do talk a lot about stuff, but everything we do talk about is about crypto. I mean, for the most part, I feel like.
Well, and I think podcasting is like, it's inspired by terrestrial radio. I mean, there's a lot of talk and rambling, and, you're not always, this isn't Udemy. We're not here to teach you Bitcoin, in lesson 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
That's what Udemy's for.
Okay, I'll go with the next one. This is from Iggy. I wonder if that's Iggy Pop in Great Britain. 5 stars. Howdy, howdy, howdy from the UK. What a great, easy to listen to, non-complicated, non-patronizing, very informative, humorous podcast. All the best for the future. Well, I'm going to like this guy because he's starting out with howdy, howdy, howdy. So I'm going to have to like this guy right off the bat.
He's very creative and he's funny as well. I think you have to have a sense of humor to get our sense of humor. Maybe
and I like that we're humorous, non-patronizing. I don't know what that means, non-patronizing. What does that mean?
We don't talk down to the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I usually don't know what I'm talking about.
It's almost impossible for us.
I mean, for me, I'm usually asking what in the world. See, I'm even asking what non-patronizing is. So I definitely can't talk down to anyone. Iggy, thanks for your comment and for your review there. I really appreciate that. Okay, Tony, you're up.
Esclapon from the USA. Don't listen to this show. There are so many better alternatives. All these guys do is talk about themselves. In parentheses, one of them mainly. The other one is kind of cool.
Hey, I think that's me he's talking about because I do the most self-promoting. I'm a natural promoter. I mean, I'm a salesman since I was 14. So I know he's got to be talking about me. I'm not the cool one. And I was always the cool one in high school.
Look at that. When he didn't know you in those days. He has to have a couple drinks with you and then he'll know how cool you are. Mm-hmm. They have almost no info, and they just yammer on, which is certainly true today. While there are some great shows that do the opposite and squeeze so much info so beautifully and concisely and still manage to stay funny and entertaining. 2 really great ones are Let's Talk Crypto and the Bad Crypto Podcast. Just listen to the episode on the lost 4 million Bitcoin, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
And I would like people to listen to the 4 million. I listened to it last night. On the way home, I said, well, I got to listen to this 4 million lost Bitcoin, Tony, because we did that.
Yammering. Yeah.
We were yammering for sure. It was back in January, where I had been involved in Bitcoin for just a few months at the time. And I listened to it, though, and I didn't hear any information that was incorrect in there now that I feel like I have a really good grasp on it. I didn't hear anything in there that I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe we said that, or oh my gosh, this information was terrible. So I am a little confused on that particular comment. Escalon, I don't know what was.
I think he says we have almost no info, so maybe he's looking for more densely packed info.
Well, he likes Bad Crypto Podcast, which is Joel and Travis, and they have a very popular show, one of the top shows, but he also likes Let's Talk Crypto. And so I said, I need to find this show. I'm not familiar with this show, because I listen to a lot of podcasts about crypto, and they had 25 episodes and they quit. So I don't know. Their show must not have been too popular.
So you didn't relentlessly self-promote.
But I guess not. I guess you're right. And that's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to keep this thing going, to keep the lights on, so to speak. All right, your turn to read.
Oh my gosh!
I think that's a name. I don't think it's a real name. I think it's the first name and the last name kind of mushed together.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sprokey. Sprokey 004 in the U.S. gave us a 5-star review. I tried several podcasts as a noob, and this is the only one I've made it through every episode. If you want to learn about crypto in layman terms, then this is the podcast for you, hands down. Hey, and I think that was kind of our goal. Mm-hmm. Was to, as you said, not be, patronizing. To really, and I think we make a good pair. I ask questions that may be simple to other people like Escapelon, but to someone like Stropey 004, it's good information. So I don't think you can please everybody.
That's for sure. For example, our next review, a 2-star rating, and Kevin Healy in the USA says he forced himself to listen to every episode before reviewing. And I'd say conservatively 30 to 40% of the content is promo/marketing focused. Hopefully you guys can increase the amount of time spent discussing cryptocurrency content and reduce the amount of time spent plugging all your different podcasts and partnerships. Thank you, Kevin. We will take that advice to heart.
I don't know of the partnerships except that I do know that when we had the Super Conference, we mentioned every show, usually near the end of the show, that the Super Conference was coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about our part.
Boom was, I guess we partnered with ourselves to do BitBlock Boom.
Yeah. Oh, well. I guess that's why we're still producing, though.
Hey, 2 is better. I mean, what we could have got worse. Could have got 1 star.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining about the stars. I'm just trying to understand the comments. Instead of just, I don't want to be just like, you guys are full of crap. I mean, I'm really trying to understand the comments. That's why I went and listened to that episode, because I wanted to say, oh my gosh, we must have really screwed up. And he was kind enough to give us an example.
I appreciate Kevin listening to every episode.
Yeah. Good. Okay, next one is I'm Highlander, USA. I wonder if he watches the Highlander TV show.
It'd be the
There can be only one, 5 stars. I can't remember how I found Crypto Cousins, but I'm glad I did. As a non-techie and Gen Xer, I've been intimidated by the learning curve for Bitcoin, crypto, in the broader world of blockchain tech. While these guys focus mostly on the financial aspects of blockchain currency, it's a great intro to the world of crypto. They shortened my learning curve a lot. Thank you, I'm a Highlander, USA. I like that one. And I think that's...
we help some people.
I didn't know we focus on finance that much. Even though it's a 5-star review, I don't really think we focus on finance that much, do we?
I think, well, we'll talk about the price, and we I guess in contrast to, say, like Jimmy, who talks about, programming blockchain.
Yeah. I guess and then like going back to, there's a lot of them that don't even mention anything to do with money, where we do. Okay, I'll go with that.
Fantastic. A big thank you to everyone for subscribing and leaving reviews on iTunes.
And, in the fear of telling everybody in fear of self-promoting.
Now you're relentlessly, conscientiously, self-consciously.
Well, I'm still going to self-promote because that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? I figure we do all this work, we can at least do a little self-promoting out of the deal.
I'm just fond of saying, if someone doesn't want to listen to your ads, they can tune out and go somewhere else.
Exactly. But I do want to tell everybody, I enjoy reading these reviews. I really did. So please, the self-promoting I'm going to do right now is to tell people, please go and leave us some more reviews. I mean,
I think they're funny. I like when people are funny and the howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yeah, I like the howdy, howdy, howdy. Yeah, that was unexpected. I laughed actually when I saw the howdy, howdy, howdy.
You LOL.
And I actually, when I saw I was wasn't the cool one, man, it was kind of like going, I really kind of think I am the cool one, Escape Law. But either way, we're both kind of either non-cool or cool, I don't know. But yeah, thanks everyone for all the subscribing and all the reviews you've left. I really do, and that's not a promotion, but if you're listening to this and you're sharing it, I got to do a little promotion. I wonder if it's okay to promote at the end or if it's during the show they don't like. I mean, at the end of the show, do most people go, oh, it's okay at the end for you to like tell people where to find you at? Is it like during the show? Because usually at the beginning of the show, we tell people, hey, call 747-777-9471 to leave us a comment, or they can email us at thecryptocousins@gmail.com and leave a comment. We usually do that at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. But you see how I just did that kind of like, and it wasn't really seen, it wasn't really as a promotion, even though it was a promotion, so, but you can do those if you want to leave us a comment, and go to cryptocousins.com/subscribe and you can see all the ways to subscribe. So I'm trying to get my promotions in here, Tony. You know that. I
know that. I see you doing a very good job of it.
Yeah. So that's it for the show today. And actually this was a pretty short show. I mean, for us, we can keep this going and try to keep it from being a short show, but we're at 31 minutes. That's pretty short.
That's really good for us. We're excited to talk more about the future of crypto, the future of mining. I mean, it's an interesting place to be in, because if you're still with us, then you're really interested in crypto. You're not just a rich quick scheme. I mean, we saw the numbers for everything jump up between December of last year and what was it? When we started September through December, and the price peaked. And
September the 28th. That's why we're having our Cryptoverse.
It's exactly Cryptoverse. So thanks for sticking around, and I think it's a bright future.
Yeah, and I enjoyed everyone listening. And like I said, don't forget to. Also, let me do some more promoting. Check out bitblockboom.com for our conference that we're going to do next year. This will be
mark
the second
calendar. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we want to go ahead and mark your calendar for that. But unless you got anything else, Tony, I'm out of here.
Nope. I'm going to go yammer on with offline.
Yeah, well, I'm out of here. Love you guys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Crypto Cousins podcast. Please share this podcast with anyone you know that is interested in cryptocurrency. Your friends can subscribe on iTunes at cryptocousins.com/iTunes and on Android at cryptocousins.com/play. If you want to know more about Tony or Gary, just go to tonysakala.com or garyleland.com. Make sure and join us on the next episode, and thanks for listening. The Crypto Cousins podcast and information in the podcast are not intended as investment advice. Cryptocurrencies are risky. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Always seek professional advice before making any investment. Investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies may present tremendous risks. Please understand that you are using any and all information available on or through the Crypto Cousins podcast at your own risk.